Hello and welcome. I'm Alan Thompson, the hardest working realtor in West Volusia, and today I'm joined with Brittany Gloersen from Landis, Graham and French. Brittany, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yes, so first of all, thank you for having me, and you didn't murder my name, so that's great. I'm an elder law attorney, and so that basically means that I do estate planning, probate, guardianship, trust administration. I do elder abuse cases, long-term care planning for the nursing home, Medicaid planning, and veterans benefits. And I head up what we call our elder law team here at Landis, which is myself and another attorney and 3 staff members totally dedicated to elder law. I'm also a shareholder here at the firm, and we have other attorneys who do family law, real estate, business law, and general civil law.
For those of us that don't know, can you tell us a little bit more about what exactly is elder law? I don't think I probably understand it.
You know, I think there is some confusion around it because the legal profession is a long-standing profession in the United States, hundreds of years. The elder law area is relatively new in the last 40, 50 years. So, attorneys used to do just boutique type stuff like estate planning, or they would do probate, but now an elder law attorney really means that you do all of those things, and you have an emphasis on helping people find the right nursing home, helping them pay for the nursing home, special needs planning for parents who have children with autism, Down syndrome, things of that nature. So it's a much broader than just doing estate planning or just doing probate. But it doesn't mean that that all my clients are elderly. I have clients that it's their first time putting an estate plan in place. They just got married. They just had children. So just life changes that they need to address within their estate plan. So that's kind of what being elder law attorney is.
Okay, so you kind of help with some of the guardianship too. That's my understanding?
Yes. So, the ideal world, you want to stay out of guardianship. You want to plan ahead so that you have good estate planning documents in place with people who can be trusted to use those documents so that you avoid being in a guardianship scenario. Some of the basic documents that I think are important, we talked about this before, regardless of health, wealth, or age, are a last will and testament that says, when I pass away, this is where I want my stuff to go. This is who I want to be in control of that process. A durable power of attorney for finances, which says that should you need someone to step in, pay bills, manage your property, apply for nursing home care, apply for Medicaid, veterans benefits, you have an agent to do that under that document. A healthcare surrogate that says that should you be incapacitated and need someone to make healthcare decisions, you have that person in place. And a lot of times, in these documents, we're putting alternates so that if something were to happen to the first agent, you have a backup in place as well. A living will, which says that if you are in a brain dead or persistent vegetative state, end stage state, that you do not want feeding tubes or airway tubes or artificial means keeping your body alive if you're brain dead. And then a simple HIPAA release that allows your agent to get access to your medical records, talk to drugstore, talk to dentists, that kind of thing. In my opinion, those are very important. I give talks about this kind of stuff all the time, and there's always one person in the group who says they don't want to get these in place because they don't want to tempt fate. They feel like if they get them, something might happen to them. My answer to that is I do see a lot of young people, not always, but a lot, that end up in the sense in a guardianship because they didn't get these documents in place and didn't think things would happen to them. Car accidents, one individual I can think of, believe he fell off a ladder. Just really unfortunate outcomes and accidents that if they'd had these in place, they wouldn't end up in the guardianship scenario. I always think about Terry Schiavo too. In that case, I don't know if you remember, I think she was in her 20s. And so her husband and her parents, really had a disagreement, a battle, if you will, for many years trying to resolve that. And so having these documents in place, I don't think it tempts fate. I think it's just being prepared.
And for those that don't quite understand, can you explain what guardianship is in a
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't think many people do understand what it is, and I think if they did, they would probably be more inclined to get these estate planning documents done. But it's a very intrusive process to the individual, because basically what happens is 2 cases are filed at the same time. One, to determine the person incapacitated. So there's a case that's set up, and within that, 3 medical professionals are appointed to evaluate the individual as to their capacity. So you have 3, new medical professionals coming into their environment, putting them through an evaluation, doing many mental exams, reading all of their medical records, and trying to determine what their capacity level is. And then you have another case, which goes on kind of simultaneously, called the guardianship case, where the court is told that the individual who's petitioning believes that the senior or the alleged incapacitated person is incapacitated, and they want to see a guardian appointed, and basically remove that individual's rights and give those rights over to a guardian. And I kind of liken it to people who don't really understand it. Is in a divorce, you may have a husband and wife on either side fighting over finances and children. In a guardianship, very often you have children, siblings on either side, fighting over mom or dad and their finances, and who's going to make healthcare decisions, who's going to control the property. And so it's very divisive for families. It doesn't mean that it can't be a seamless process in some instances, but ultimately it's the last resort. And so having these documents in place helps families avoid that and avoid gray areas of who should make care decisions and what decisions should be made. So.
Yeah, it sounds like it's basically similar to legacy planning. If you can't make decisions for yourself, it's already outlining what decisions you would make in certain circumstances. Who should care about this?
I think we should all care about it, especially, I hate to say it, but, I get sick of hearing the new normal, but it's true. I mean, it's a cliche for a reason. We're in a new, unprecedented time where, I think estate planning is even more critical now for everyone to take a look and to consider. It doesn't mean that you need to have, a trust in place or complicated documents, but simply getting some basic stuff done with an attorney that you trust, I think, is very important. I've always a proponent of, work with an attorney. Don't use the online forms. You get what you pay for kind of experience in that. And plus, your life is going to change, and the online experience doesn't necessarily evolve with you like your attorney might, and understand your family and your needs specifically.
When do you suggest somebody starts the planning process?
I have these documents in place. I'm not preaching something and not following it myself. When my brother was in his early 20s, I harped on him to get it done. So I think, once we turn 18, our parents can no longer make decisions for us. And, it's important to, like I said, just get some basic, the healthcare surrogate, the living will, at least get those advanced directives in place. So I think it should be, early and often. I think those who put it in place and say, well, I have it done, it's done, but then they forget about it for 10 or 15 years, should pull those documents back out and take a look. Things change, family changes, circumstances change. So don't just think I have it in place and, that's it for eternity. You want to make sure that your documents evolve with you.
I think that's a valid point, because my situation is always changing. Every day it seems like it's completely different. Mm-hmm. I do want to ask you one question, because I hear it all the time, but I really don't understand what it is. What is a living will?
Right. So a living will is basically a document where you direct what you want to have happen in certain stages. Should you be, for example, in a persistent vegetative state or brain dead, do you want feeding tubes or artificial means taken to keep your body alive if your brain is dead? And the way we do our documents is it's determined by 2 physicians. So you'd have your you'd have your primary physician who has made this determination, and then you'd have to bring in a consulting physician before this document would be utilized for that purpose. So there's some checks and balances in place, and nobody likes thinking about this kind of thing. I mean, but what I tell individuals is that it's difficult for us to think about. Can you imagine putting your loved ones in that position? Can you imagine putting your children in the position to have to remove feeding tubes or have to have that discussion with each other and the doctor? By doing it now, by doing it when you have capacity with an attorney, you're taking that out of their hands. You're taking that guilt away from them and making it, this was my decision, this is what I want. You're just carrying it out for me. So
that's great. I actually cringed a little bit when you said that, because that's exactly what I was thinking, is how would we make that decision for one of my loved ones? Or more importantly, how would one of my loved ones make those decisions for me? Is there the ability to do this? I mean, how much do you have to be loaded to do this? How much money do you have to be? Do you have to be wealthy, or
no?
Do you have plans for all budgets?
We have plans for all budgets. At Landis Graham and French, we are very much about all clients in the sense that we're not tailoring ourselves to clients that have a taxable estate or have businesses. Like I said, I have clients who are just starting out who have just gotten married, maybe just started a business, just bought their first house, all the way up to clients who do have a taxable estate and have large amount of assets. So no, we are very much open to helping and meet clients where they are in that particular phase of life. Channing Coolidge, who works with me on the elder law team, he does a lot of business law, business succession planning, and things of that nature. So we can take care of pretty much anyone's estate planning needs.
So how does somebody get a hold of you if they are ready to start this process?
Yeah, we try to make it very easy for the client. So you can email from our website, you can message us from our Facebook page, you can message us on Instagram, or you can just simply do the old school way and pick up the phone and give us a call.
We have a telephone number?
We have a telephone number. Can you believe it? But yeah, we have a very specific intake process. You will speak with a person who will get all your information and make sure that you get to the right attorney for you within our firm, and then you'll come in for a consult if you feel comfortable doing that. We're really trying to encourage still video chat and telephone conferences, and you'll meet with the attorney directly, and he or she will try to address your needs then and there.
Well, thank you very much for your time. I'll make sure that your contact information is in the comments. I guess, did you have anything else you wanted to share?
No, other than the fact that Landis Graham and French has been here since 1902, so we have a strong history here in DeLand, and that I'm very appreciative of you having me on your program.
I'm trying to think. I don't think anybody watching today has been around since 1902. I could be wrong, but I don't think any of them have. So thanks again, Brittany, for your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.